Hello, everybody. Tonight I was going to talk about film in India and particularly the film schools. So I looked up basically the top 10 film schools in India, and you'd actually be quite surprised about what's going on there. One of the facts is that the top by video views right now is T Series with over 281 billion views. And then top three, Set India is also 173 billion views. Sony India with another 124 billion views, and then ZTV with almost 100 billion views. So basically, when you combine this, you basically have a mega industry. Basically, India dominating the YouTube industry for YouTube videos. You'd almost think that India, that's all they do is basically watch YouTube. But basically, this is a very interesting to look at. So I just basically wanted to see at who is actually producing some of those. So I worked with some artificial intelligence and then some of my own kind of information over the years studying international film. I have a couple different films that I'm personally working on. One is called Sorry, and then another one is called White Gandhi. If you're interested in helping out with a film, I'd be glad to work with you on an actual film. But I just wanted to kind of jump right into this. You can see there's basically located in a couple different areas around India, so it's actually kind of a little bit different than you'd anticipate, particularly one of these major areas in Uttar Pradesh, where T-Series is, and some of these other major companies. So we're just going to jump in and look at this first one, which is called the Film and Television Institute of India, and it's just outside of Mumbai. This is the entrance to it. You can see they got a couple big film things there, guards at the gate, and so on. But let's look at the actual floor plan of the studios here. And actually, it's quite different. In the United States, if you've looked at Hollywood, it's actually the film studios really are so much larger than the schools. But here, you actually have quite a lot of education around India, but the colleges are actually quite small. So this is only 100 feet here. So some of these buildings, you can kind of see the Film and Institute goes way back here. And it's kind of got the front gate right here with the main road running right down the center. And you can kind of see this building is kind of the main building here. And you'll see this at a lot of the film studios. There's some kind of cool pictures here of what's going on. So I'm just going to go inside one of these studios to show you basically what's going on. So they basically got a pretty massive film studio building and construction going on, and then basically a door opened up there. So but basically this is only one of the studios in the region. I'll show you where this is so you can kind of see approximately what's going on. So the interesting thing about this studio is Mumbai is over here and then Pune is out here. So basically it's quite a big different kind of situation for the film studios, because Mumbai, it's actually quite far. This is maybe a couple hours drive, and then you can see the rest of India. So this is where the film studio is. They do have a film city, but we're basically looking at the film schools right now, and kind of comparing that all around India. So you can kind of see New Delhi is up here, and the rest of India, but basically that film studio being right around that region. So next, this is actually the website for this one. You can see they say quite a lot about it here. Started basically in the 1960s. So this is actually quite a bit after, most of the studios started out in Los Angeles. But you can see basically what's going on with different things here. So you might want to take a look at their Wikipedia page. One thing that I had fun doing is going to their website and then checking out student films down here. It's kind of weird. The website's a little bit weird, and you have to wait for it to load up and then scroll all the way down here to the bottom, and so it's a little bit difficult to do that. But you can see they actually are a little bit delayed on the student project since 2018. But you can see, you can look up each one of these on the internet, and sometimes they have YouTube videos, and you can see basically what the student projects are. I wasn't super impressed, but it was a little bit. A lot of the films were a little bit depressing, actually. So I wondered what that was really coming from, and actually a lot of poverty in a lot of the films. But nevertheless, this is actually my favorite film school of all these. This is in Calcutta. So this is Bengal, Calcutta, West Bengal, and it's called the Ray Film and Television Institute. This is actually what made me want to do this whole project, to be honest. So this film studio really impressed me a lot, just the ground. So you can't actually get a whole lot of visibility for what's going on here. You can see they say in English at the bottom here, but basically this is their gate. Looks like it's kind of open, and a pretty interesting environment. The reason that I like this one the best is actually it's right near the waterfront, and it's also near a major metro station. So they have kind of a whole park area here, so you can see they got lakes, ponds, and then their television institute is right back here, and there's just a whole lot to going on with this film institute. So I would say this is one of the best in the world, really, to look at, and basically kind of a whole campus. And let me just zoom out so you can see where this is located, and you basically have it on the edge of Calcutta. So let's zoom way out so you can see where we are on this map and straighten this out. So we're basically on the eastern side of India in Calcutta, almost in Bangladesh. And the nice part about this film school, similar to Mumbai, is you're actually close to Pakistan, and when you get out into Gujarat, you get some different kind of culture out here, and actually all the rivers kind of drain right through here, including the Ganges, Yamuna, and the other major rivers in India. So this whole delta is like a floodplain, so it makes for a very interesting kind of area. I would say it's not as mountainous as some of the other areas, so that's the only downside when you are working with this film school. Some of the other inland film schools maybe have more mountainous areas, but I just liked that it was so close to Bangladesh. And it's just a really cool area in general, with the river here, and there's definitely some cool culture that can be found here in Calcutta. So for some reason it dropped the little anchor here. Let's see if we can zoom in and have that load up where the film school is. But basically there's this train track here, and it's right near the train track. Let's see if we can zoom out again. But yeah, and then let's take a look at their website really quick. I actually really like their website. It's okay. It's kind of shows some of the film stuff going on, and then you can see some of the postgraduate courses here, and it's actually pretty easy to contact some of the faculty. So you can go to here, and you can go to alumni, or maybe this is, I'm thinking different school, sorry. But some of the faculties are pretty easy to contact. And you can see basically some details. The video that they have about the school is worthwhile to watch. You can just watch it for a couple minutes, kind of see what's going on with their school, but you can get some ideas for this here. So next we're going to jump into this school, Whistling Woods. This is going back to Mumbai. This is this one right here, and it's actually pretty hard to get a picture of what this school looks like. One of the complexities is that if you know anything about Bollywood in Mumbai, it's a little bit complicated. The Bollywood area and the Film City Lake is actually kind of outside of town, nearby the Indian Institute of Technology and some other areas. So basically, if you zoom out on Mumbai, a lot of the actors live in Juhu, which is actually right over here, just near the airport. So this is actually a couple miles from the airport, a couple miles to downtown. But they're actually kind of building a whole little area over here. And then this is the film school here. You can see that it's actually quite a bit larger. It's probably the largest, one of the largest kind of areas that you can see. You can see that it kind of even goes out into this national park area. So it kind of gives for some interesting area, because you got the lakes here, and it's quite a large, expansive area, and you can see the street view is actually pretty interesting to look at. Not all these buildings are actually related to film studios, but you can see a number of them are, and you can see this is kind of where that one studio is. I wish they had a 3D view, but they don't really have 3D view, and you can see some of these other studio buildings in here, and there's actually quite a lot going on here. So it's actually quite poor in this area. They have kind of, you can see some other kind of shanty towns pretty close by, and then there's some pretty large kind of multi-level buildings that people live in out in here. So it's a pretty interesting area to look at. Let's look at their website really quick. One of the best parts about their website is they have industry appreciation, because they are so close to Mumbai. A lot of the actors that they've worked with and other famous people, they list them on their website here. You can also go in to see what their faculty is like, emissions, programs, and some other things up in here, which is cool to see. Next, we're going to look at the Asian Academy of Film and Television. This one is probably one of the ones that's located in the center of India. It's near this film city. And in this film city is a lot of major television and production places. It's hard to see what's going on here. There's just so many of them. Z Media, T-Series is here, NDTV, Network 18. So many of the schools. So basically, you got to see, first of all, where this is located. So basically what happened here is Delhi is located up here, just north and west of the city. And then here is where it's almost right through here. So you can see it's going to be right on the river here as we zoom in. So we're going to kind of see what's going on. And this is only a couple thousand feet. So it's not a huge area, but it is actually pretty beautiful because it's right on the Yamuna River. And they have a major temple located right here, and they call it Film City. So you can see this whole area is kind of devoted to films. It's not super large, and it is pretty advanced. You can see quite a number of places here, the Times of India, and then the film school located right in here, which is actually quite small. And you can see Microsoft is located over here, Z News, and some other places. But you can see this is a major temple right here. And then Yamuna River is close, so it makes for some good filming. What I'm looking for in a great filming school is great areas to film in. And it looks like the crime would be actually pretty low in this particular region. But as you get out further, there is some poorer areas. So actually, you get to be part of, this says Delhi on this side and Uttar Pradesh. So you're basically heading into Delhi as you go just north. So basically very close to India Gate, and you can see there's plenty of great places to film in the capital region and right on the Yamuna River. So I would say there's some really great spots there, and you also get to work with a lot of the other major companies, so it may be one of the best for trying to network. But honestly, a lot of people still choose Mumbai just because of the ocean front, so it's something to think about. And next, we're going to look at this school. So this is in Chennai, and this is their website. It looks pretty organized overall, but sometimes you can't really tell some of these websites. After I started clicking through on some of these, some of the links didn't work right, and there were some other problems. Now, it's actually a very small school. Let's look at where this is in Chennai. So this is considered one of the most holy cities in India. And the nice part about this is you're also right along the coastfront. And there's just different film in different regions. This is Tamil area. You'll see that the characters look different. And you actually get closer to Sri Lanka. And it's just a totally different kind of area. You actually get close to Kerala. Some of my favorite filming locations are actually down here in Kochi and some other areas. But you still got some of the coastlines here, and let's just look at what's going on in this film school. So you have this river here, some nice beaches to film at, and some other things. So basically, you can see it's not a huge film school by any means, but it's basically this one building here, and then maybe this lot connected here. You can see some animation companies and some other areas, but pretty high density housing and kind of a park area, so not too bad. And this one is an interesting one. National Institute of Design, so it's not really only film, it's actually for design and a bunch of other things, and you can basically check out their website. They got quite a number of faculty here. It looks like quite extensive, and you can kind of go through all their classes and see which faculty are related to film. And then when you click on some of these other ones, film design, I think they have only a couple teachers, like 3 main ones here. So actually it's not a whole lot. Some of these faculties, they have 20, 30 faculties, and some of these even smaller schools. So even though this is a bigger school, because they have many different kinds of classes here. So I think this is the one where we can load it up really quick here and see in Gujarat. So hopefully this is going to load here, and you can see right on the river here. And let's zoom out so you can see where that is. So this is actually kind of getting to a drier part of India, and definitely more rural, and a different side of film production in India. So you can see Mumbai way down here. This is quite a distance. Pune, you can see, is about 60 miles, and this is definitely in the hundreds of miles from Mumbai, but kind of its own separate area, and it's got its river here, and definitely interesting to look at. And you can see the size of this whole campus here. Hopefully we'll load up here. Pretty cheap hotels for $21 a night. National Institute of Design, and they got pretty close to the beach here, which is nice. So some cool area just to check out, just because it is close to some fun things, maybe a lot similar to the one over in Calcutta. So here's another one, and it's nice to have a Wikipedia page, and you can see they're collaborating with some places in the United States, which is really helpful. And you can see some of their website here, looking kind of interesting, a little bit different than maybe the other websites. And then I did notice that it is kind of cool to see some of the web pages related. So let's zoom out and see where that school is, and you can see, let's just zoom way out so you can see. So this is kind of in the heart of India. There's been a lot of changes, I would say, here. So it's basically right there. Let's zoom in, and this is kind of taking a little bit of time. Hopefully we won't lose the marker on this. Looks like we lost the marker, but basically this is the area near this major river here, and then you can see some of the other stuff going on. About Hyderabad being pretty centralized in India. And then National Institute of Film and Fine Arts. This one, again, some of these websites were a little bit weird. This is another one that I found to be a little bit weird, but kind of cool. You get to see some filming going on here. And let's just look at where that is located here. So in West Bengal, Calcutta. So there's another one, and again, I'm a little bit biased towards that one, Calcutta Film School. It looked really cool and fun, and as we zoom out, you can see this is actually fairly close to that other film school. You see that other film school right here, within just maybe 5 miles. But let's just zoom in and see so we don't lose it like we lost last time. So quite a small little building here, but maybe located closer to downtown. You can see some of the photos here. Let's see if we can load up a couple photos showing some films. So this is maybe more urban work here going on, and some different people working on some stuff. So a little bit rougher school, but again, yet another school in India. They did have a web page listing of some of their student projects, which I really loved, and you can maybe go through these and see again, it's a little bit depressing. They definitely need some help on positivity in the films. Mumbai Film Academy was an interesting one. Next, and that is actually also located in Mumbai, and you can see it's one kind of two locations, one perhaps near the beach, and then one kind of located in here, but it is relatively small. Actually extremely small. You just got this one building here, maybe, and maybe some of these other production companies. Looks like around here. But the nice part about this is you're right in Mumbai. You're actually not really in Mumbai proper when you do the film school out here. So this is kind of Mumbai Film Academy. It is small, but it is located near Juhu, and some of the other production companies and Hollywood stars are in this area, so that makes it a pretty interesting place to check out. Another really interesting one was this school here, and you can see the language changes, and I definitely like it when they show like professors and what's going on, faculty, and look at the campus. It looks pretty nice in the picture. Let's see if we can look at this on the actual Kerala imagery. So the only problem with this one is it is pretty far from the beachfront. So Kerala has these Kerala backwaters, which is really beautiful filming locations. I'd love to do a film project in here, but then you get towards the mountain ranges here, but it's almost its own little private area, so it is quite hard to get in and out of this school. I would imagine once you're here, it's almost like its own little commune, but you can see they got quite a number of administration office. They have a men and women's housing, campus road, and looks like they even got a main studio area, campus drive, and some other property maybe that would be related. So it's kind of more of a vacation spot in general. So we've just gone through all of the major film schools in India, believe it or not, and these are actually producing some of the most important films on the planet. So however you look at it, take a look at what's going on, and take a deep dive into each one of these locations, and you can basically go through, take a look at them, map them, and get to understand what's going on in film around the world, and particularly in India. Thank you so much for taking